Guess what time it is? It's 8:30. And for the 62nd night in a row, we are getting together here in my war room because there's nothing else to do. So we might as well hang out with each other. And we might as well make a cocktail and have a drink together. What's going on, Scott? Hey, Drea. Hi, Mel. Hey, Ash. Good evening. Hey, Eric. The cocktails are just as good now as they were 62 nights ago. Hey, Monica. What's up, Kate? Hey, Jen. Welcome to the war room. Hey, Rick. Hi, Stephanie. What's going on, Patty? Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me again tonight. I was talking to somebody today, a record rep in California. And hi, Ian. You know what's really pathetic? I'll finish the story about the record rep in a minute. Is that I hosted over 200 episodes of WAF's Real Rock TV. And Ian produced that television show. And now we're reduced to him watching me produce a show on the internet with my cell phone while he's at home social distancing. Ian, what happened to us? What happened to our careers? What the hell is going on? I guarantee you right now, Ian is analyzing the lighting, the camera angle, the background. I know exactly what's going on in his head right now. Oh, she needs to move that camera. Ooh, the lighting needs to be a little better. Ooh, the angle's not quite right. What the hell is she doing? Yeah, I know. I know how you are. What's up, Josh? Hey, Jason. How are you? John says, I fucking miss you and Shu on WAF. John, I could not agree more if I tried. F-bomb included. What's going on, Rodney? Hey, Lou. Zach says, this is the 60-second cocktails in the war room that I've been sober for no good reason. Well, you are always welcome to make a drink. Otherwise, I will drink it for you. Ian says, you know me. I know you too well, Ian. And I apologize. I haven't changed the background. I haven't changed the camera angle because this is where the plug is to be able to plug in my little light. At least I got a tripod. My production value has gone sky high. Hometown Heroes was good earlier. Sully and Jacoby from Papa Roach were on it. It's a Hometown Sessions, Jay. And that is on Sully's YouTube channel. He does it twice a week, and it's very cool. Michael says, and ignoring content. So anyway, I was talking to a record rep today in California that I haven't talked to in a while. And he was like, well, let's get caught up. Tell me how you're doing. Is everybody in the family healthy? And what's going on and whatever. And he was like, so what, what's going on? And I was like, well, I started doing this thing on Facebook that turned out to be kind of a joke. And then it turned into a thing. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, Cocktails in the War Room. Go to my Facebook page and scroll through all the videos. And so I'm on the phone with him and he's scrolling through my Facebook page and he's going, holy shit, look at all of these people that are watching you. And then he started reading all of your comments and he's like, you've started a cult. So congratulations, my cult. Maybe I could be tax-free if I'm a religion. Who knows? Jason says, a toast to Susan Perillo Jamro. It is her birthday today. Well, if we're going to start doing birthday toasts right out the gate, make yourself a drink because if today is your birthday is awesome. Ooh, somebody's having meatloaf for dinner. Colleen, I love me some meatloaf. Ma! Meatloaf! It's actually funnier than you think. Okay, so if we're going to talk about birthdays, let's get them out of the way. But if your birthday is today, the cobbler cult, says Melissa. Still funny. If your birthday is today, you share it with Gronk, who I'm sure is completely sober right now. David Byrne, Cece DeVille, Ian Asbury, Mike Inez, Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys, and Danny Wood from the New Kids on the Block. I just put that in there just because he's a local guy, not because I like the music. But seriously, you've got Gronk, the Talking Heads, Poison, The Cult, Atlas in Chains, the Black Keys, and the New Kids on the Block. All sharing your birthday. Your birthday is awesome. So congratulations. Yeah, Trisha says, yep, it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday to you. There you go. Brianna says, love meatloaf, even better with bacon on top. I mean, if we're going to start throwing meatloaf recipes around, I mean, I know that there is a, thank you, John, for my Will Ferrell impersonation. There is a meat shortage, but I mean, who doesn't love meatloaf? Seriously. I mean, you're kind of a savage if you don't. My pop would have been 88 today. Rest in peace, Jeff. Well, cheers to Jeff's dad. He's no longer with us, but he's here in spirit. So happy birthday to your dad. Elsa says, love your t-shirt. All right, so old school t-shirt. This is my old school Bon Jovi shirt. This was one of my favorites. And it says, we came, we saw, we kicked your ass on the back. And I wore it the day after I went to the concert when I was in high school. And I got in trouble and they made me turn it inside out because it said the word ass on the back. My, how far we've come. Where is the new mug? I used the new mug last night and it's being washed right now. I have to be careful because the mug that Karina made for me, which I have not seen Karina pop up. So Karina, if you're here, comment please to make sure that I know that you heard my extremely heartfelt thank yous and gratitude for your incredibly thoughtful gift. Mike says Megan is a savage meatloaf hater. She's got to have a flaw, Mike, and you found it. She doesn't like meatloaf. End of list. There you go. Let's see. Meatloaf stuffed with mac and cheese wrapped in bacon. Oh. That sounds so good right now. Salsa. Put salsa in your meatloaf for a Mexican twist. Okay. Meatloaf stuffed with cheese wrapped in bacon. Yummy, says Mimi. What kind of doggy treats does Wednesday like? Heather wants to know. She really likes those, what are they, the Nylabone ones, the chewy ones, the brown kind of one. She eats them in like 5 minutes. They're like her absolute favorite thing. Where is that little shit, by the way? Wednesday, come here. She's laying on 6 blankets that are all folded, that are in the other room on the couch right now because I did laundry today. Here she comes. Do you want to play with your monkey? Huh? Can I just tell you guys that I need a basket just for her toys? Like I need a toy box, like I have a toddler. There are dog toys literally in every room of this house. They are scattered everywhere. You can't go any place. It looks like I have kids. I just have a small 16-pound pug. Do you want to come up and play with the monkey? Come up here. We got the spider too. You know you have a pug too when like everything has pug fur on it. Karen says, I'm so old, I saw Bon Jovi open for Rat. Let's see. I just saw a video that ruined my appetite. And I'm so sad because I haven't eaten all day. Brianna, I don't want to know about what ruined your appetite. Oh, there she is. My trusted co-host. My friend Ryan was released from the hospital today and recovering at home from COVID-19. Ralph, that is the kind of news we need to hear in the war room. So congratulations to your friend. I'm glad that he is recovering because it's been 62 days and we could really use some good news. Let's see. Amy, you know how I feel about that dog. I know. There she is. She's right there. Give me that. Give me the monkey. Please show your foot, Rocky. Foot fetish people are really weird because when they find out that I have 2 different size feet, they always want to see them. And that's what happened with Corey Taylor. And you guys, all you foot fetish weirdos, strange breed for sure. Michael says no comment on the pug fur. Mike says toys galore and my pet only plays with household items. Wednesday, if it is a dog toy, like, she wants in. I mean, she's right there. She's proving my point right now. If it's got a squeaker in it, if she can play tug of war with it, if she can gnaw on it for a while, she's just in. Right? Give me that. Give me that. Pat says, yay to recovery. Exactly. Like, we could use some good news because looking at the numbers today, the Massachusetts cases went back up. The cases in Massachusetts right now confirmed 82,182, and that is up 1,685 from yesterday. So we had gotten down to like 600 cases a day, and then it went back up. Fatalities in Massachusetts have also gone up. There have been 5,482 total, but 167 in the last 24 hours. Elsa says that her mom got COVID-19. Elsa, please tell us all that your mom is doing okay and that she is strong and fighting this thing, because it's just awful. Sean says Rex Ryan was a foot fetish guy. Sexy Rexy? Oh, I know. Pardon me while I pick up the pillows off my couch because my dog just threw it off. I'm really starting to think that after these stay-at-home orders are gone, there goes the pillow for the second time, that I'm going to have to put a pug cam up so that you guys can continue to watch Wednesday knock pillows off the couch every day. Hey, what are you doing? Play with your toys. Look at how happy she is. She just wants a toy with a squeaker. Dennis says, let me know how many of them are zombies. How many of the pug toys? She does not have a zombie pug toy. Your dog Wednesday is funny, says Sean. I know she is. She's funnier than I am half the time. My brother-in-law, sister, and nephew and godson all have it, says William. You know, there are people around the country that don't know one person that has it, and there's someone that has 4 people in their family that are all sick from it. Steve says, went for a really nice drive today, windows open, music cranked. Yeah, we could use some of those days right now. I know a few gaming streamers who have special cams on their pets. Not a bad idea, maybe, says Eric. Paola says, my cousin is going on week 3 of being on a ventilator. Prayers, please. Oh my God, 3 weeks? And what makes it even worse is that no one from the family can be there to comfort them. And Wednesday, where are you going? And that hurts the family and the patient as well, that they can't have their loved ones surrounding them. So Melanie says, no love for cats. I am not a cat person. Growing up, we had a cat and a dog who didn't get along. My sister is now a cat person, and I am a dog person. So I have nothing against cats. I've just always been a dog person. But my cat Sherman, when I was a kid, yes, named after the Sherman on Rocky and Bullwinkle, was awesome. Jeff says, I went to the Cape today. Monica says, one of those days that I accidentally cut up my bank card. Oh, and now you got to wait, what, the 10 days to get another one? Dave says, 1986, Bon Jovi opened for 38 Special on their first Slippery When Wet tour out. Yeah, I remember that. I didn't see them until after they started headlining. But it goes to show you how quickly Bon Jovi took off when Slippery When Wet came out. They started the tour opening up for 38 Special and ended the tour selling out sheds and arenas. Let me see. Carol says she walked for an hour and a half today. Brianna says, good news. My friend's 91-year-old mom had it, asymptomatic, and now testing negative. She beat it. That is fantastic. 91 years old and still a total badass. Joshua said, my cats are assholes. My pug is an asshole sometimes. Currently watching John Bon Jovi in the movie Cry Wolf. I had called in every favor on this Bon Jovi tour this summer, and when he was supposed to play the Garden, I was like, listen, I don't care what I have to do. I just want to meet him. I've been a Bon Jovi fan since I was in high school. I can't count the number of times I've seen him, and he is one of the only rock stars I've never met. And I just want to meet him and get a picture taken and shake his hand and say, wow, it's really nice to meet you. I love your music. Like, maybe figure out what he smells like, or, you know, take a piece of his hair if he's not looking, like, or maybe if there was like a stray on his sleeve that he wouldn't mind me just, but I'm trying not to be creepy about it. And now, you know, the coronavirus is going to keep that from happening, and I don't have a job in radio anymore, so it just made it harder for me to stalk John Bon Jovi, at least in the short term. Kimberly says, I saw a giant hornet on the ceiling of my bedroom and I lost it. It's not one of those murder hornets. They haven't made it to the East Coast yet. You're fine. Let's see. I took a 2-mile walk, says Jonathan. William says, hello. Sorry I'm late. You're totally fine. Yes, Monica, I'm surprised too that I haven't met him. I've met pretty much everybody else I've ever wanted to meet besides a Beatle, and I have not met John Bon Jovi. Annette says, Bon Jovi sold out Great Woods with Keel. I was at that show. It was awesome. Blueberry Cobbler, Mickey says. I bet he smells like The Rock, Barbara says. If I could only find out. Jason says, I'm bald and I smell good. Go down to his kitchen down in New Jersey, and the pay what you eat place. He opened a restaurant, and you pay what you think the meal is worth because it goes to charity, which is kind of awesome. Nicholas says, hey, Carrie, I just heard about this program. It's nice to hear you. Nicholas, are you serious? This is your first Cocktails in the War Room? Well, welcome to the club, or should I say to the cult, my good man. Jennifer says, who does your hair? It looks amazing. Well, Jennifer, it's funny you ask. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. My hairdresser, Linda, I have not been able to see for the last couple of months because, well, she can't work. So I did my hair this last time. Soul Kitchen, it's called, Julia. Thank you. That's Bon Jovi's restaurant down in New Jersey. So I did my hair, and so far I'm okay with it. It's not as good as Linda's, but I'm okay with how it came out right now. It's not bad for a COVID cut, although I have not trimmed it yet. I'm a little afraid to take scissors to my own hair, and I don't want to give Linda a heart attack. So if Linda's watching right now, I love you. I miss you. I need you in my life sooner than later. Oh, please come back into my life, Linda. Renee says, this is my third time watching Cocktails in the War Room. Well, Renee, thank you for coming back after the first time. People get upset with me when I scratch my face because you're not supposed to touch your face during a pandemic, but I'm home by myself, so I'm touching my damn face. First time joining the cult and loving it, says Melissa. Thank you very much. So Melissa, to everybody that this is their first time, this is basically how it works. We get together, you guys talk about what you want to talk about. I bring you up to speed on what's going on in headlines and what's going on in music. We talk about what we did today. We're there to support each other when something bad happens. We're here to celebrate with each other when something good happens, and keep each other company. Oh, and have cocktails. But once a week, we let our livers rest, and we either do Mocktail Mondays or Temple Tuesdays with Shirley Temples. So you're not becoming a full-fledged alcoholic here in the War Room. You're only drinking 6 days a week, not 7. Billy says, I haven't missed one yet. Well, thank you very much, Billy. The face police is out here. Watch out, Rick says. I know, I should have touched my face. Anyone ever burn their grundle using a home waxing kit asking for a friend? That is the guy I spent 3 weeks in Afghanistan with. Now he wants to know about someone burning their grundle. And you wonder why I have so many amazing stories of being embedded in a war zone. Yes, and don't forget Wednesday. My trusted cohort and sidekick Wednesday, the Goth Pug, who has her own Instagram and has almost 700 followers already, joins us from time to time. Normally, she squeaks on some toys, knocks the pillows off my couch. Sometimes she is fully psycho and runs around, and other times she just naps. Don't tell her about Wednesday. Jim says, we're here to see the mistress. Well, you can be here for that, but You can be here for the topical information, the safety information. You can be here for whatever. So to finish up all of the numbers, let's see. In the United States, there is 1,413,012 cases diagnosed, and there have been 85,581 fatalities. Now, they released another jobs report today, and there are 3 million more unemployment claims in the last week, totaling 36.5 million unemployment claims nationwide. Now, in Massachusetts, they have said, let me find the number. In Massachusetts, there are 825,000 people on unemployment right now. And if you are looking for some good news when it comes to testing, the reason why the number of cases went up is because they have significantly increased the number of tests that they're processing every day. Just in the last 24 hours, they have processed 14,329 tests. And so far, grand total coronavirus or COVID-19 tests in Massachusetts, 424,361 tests have been processed. And there have been 82,182 cases. So you do the math of about the number of tests that have come back negative, which is always really good news. So Sean says, I stepped away for 48 seconds and I missed something about burnt taints. Glad I stepped away. Look, I'm not the one making the comments. I'm just the one reading the comments. No, I am not surprised about the jobless numbers. I'm not surprised about the unemployment numbers. Lines at the drive-through restaurants are crazy, says Michael. I know they are. And, to all of the local businesses that have found a way to stay afloat and to remain profitable in some cases by doing takeout and their own delivery, trying to bypass some of the delivery services that are taking fees that a lot of people think are too high. Congratulations for being able to really kind of shift your business model on the fly and figure it out. Even if you had to do it with limited menus or shortened hours or, shortened staff or however you're doing it. But, congratulations for keeping your businesses afloat because nothing out there is making it easy for you to do that right now. So guys, I got some interesting coronavirus statistics that came out today, and this is specifically for men. According to research, men are less likely to wear masks because men view them as uncool and a sign of weakness. So I don't know if that means that the cases of men's exposure are higher, but basically they just did the research that more often than not, if someone's not wearing a mask, they're a guy. So guys, do us a favor and just wear your mask and be safe, please. I bring it up because research also says that men with low T are at a greater risk of dying from COVID-19. I don't know if it has anything to do with age and low T or whatever, but they've done research that says that low T men are at a greater risk of dying of the coronavirus. And they've also done research that the coronavirus is still in your sperm for days after you test negative. So just watch where you're putting that stuff, please. That's why I tell you, don't lick anything weird and wash your damn hands at the end of every Cocktails in the War Room. Because of that, all that stuff out there. So wear your masks and keep your sperm to yourself until you're totally in the clear. This is going to make you feel really old. 22 years ago today, the final episode of Seinfeld aired. And 76 million people watched it. 76 million. That's insane. 76 million people. Post Malone has a line of cannabis. That shouldn't be a shock to anyone on the planet. And his cannabis brand is donating 400,000 masks to frontline workers. So once again, he raised, $3 million with Travis Barker doing all of those Nirvana songs on the internet. Post Malone, I might think his face tattoos are a little bit weird. I still am of the mentality that it looks like he fell asleep at a keg party and his friends got a Sharpie. But I'm not one, as I sit here with bright purple hair, to criticize someone else's aesthetic. Do what you do, boo-boo. But Post Malone has really kind of stepped up as one of those artists that has been doing a lot, going above and beyond, trying to help raise money and donate supplies. And he should be applauded for that. Plus, he's a friend of Ozzy's, and that makes him cool, too. Queen is going to stream the 1992 Freddie Mercury tribute concert to raise money for COVID relief. Now, if you have never watched the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, it is my humble opinion, even though it was wall-to-wall rock stars paying tribute to, in my opinion, the greatest frontman of all time in rock and roll, I believe that the 15 minutes that the guys from Extreme were on that stage, that they stole the show. And I'm not saying it because they're hometown heroes, and I'm not saying it because they've become personal friends of mine. I'm saying it because they kicked that stage's ass and did Freddie Mercury proud. So if you've never watched the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, Queen is going to stream it, and they are going to do it to raise money for charity, which is pretty awesome. So if you haven't seen it yet, you definitely want to check it out. Melissa says, shout out to all of the frontline workers. We love you. Absolutely. John says, if I win the lottery, I am buying back WAF. John, I would love to sit down and have a contract negotiation with you. So please go and buy your lottery ticket immediately, if not sooner. Thank you very much. Good luck. I hope you win. Jeff says Metallica played that. I know they did. And I'm telling you, if you watch it, I believe that Extreme used every minute of their performance and stole the show. I just think they were fantastic. They were amazing. Anyone seen Queen live? Dave wants to know. Now, I'm assuming we're talking about Freddie Mercury original Queen, not Queen with Adam Lambert Queen, but I never saw Queen live. And I really wish that I did, but I didn't. Did you hear Brian May tore an ass muscle while gardening? Yes, we talked about it a few days ago, Sean. Brian May is kind of out for the count for a while. And his quotes, let me see if I can find him in my Cocktails in the War Room ledger, because I wrote down his quote because it sounded so nice because he's British. And everything that British people say just sounds polite. I managed to rip my gluteus maximus to shreds in a moment of over-enthusiastic gardening. That's what Sir Brian May or Dr. Brian May said about how he tore his ass muscle and that he won't be able to walk for a while. I was talking about bizarre gardening accidents because it's such a Spinal Tap reference, but that's how he hurt his ass. And also Brandon Boyd, I believe, from Incubus, tore his Achilles tendon while gardening. Melissa says, Gary Sharon was my substitute gym teacher at Malden High. Well, if anybody knows how to stay in shape, it's him, because he is still in fantastic shape all these years later. So what the F does he... Wait, hold on. Sometimes your comments come by so fast. What the hell does he grow in that garden? Eric wants to know. It's probably a proper English garden for a proper English gentleman. I would have you run it, but you would have to play all of Lamb of God, says John. You know what, John? If you're the boss, that's what I'm playing, man. If you own the radio station, I got you. So just run along now and get your lottery ticket, pick the right numbers, and then call me when you want to sit down and have a conversation. And we'll call Mike Shue too, and we'll put the band back together, because I would love nothing more than that. Jeff says, that's why I don't garden. Really, Jeff? You don't garden because you're afraid to tear your ass muscle? I don't know if I believe you. Did you hear about the shirts that Guns N' Roses made? Oh my God. All right, so remember when the president went to the mask factory in Arizona and Guns N' Roses Live and Let Die was blaring through the factory? Well, Guns N' Roses has made Live and Let Die with COVID 45 t-shirts, and they are selling them for $25, and they're donating the money to Music Cares. Now, I don't know what has gotten into Axl lately, but he is making me laugh. That shit is funny. It just is. Hilarious. I got my lottery tickets. I play every day now to win. Yeah, exactly. Keith says, yes, you and Shu need to get back together. I tore my ass muscle gardening while running from a murder hornet, says Jeff. Did you bring... Oh, Wednesday just brought this over. Did she kill? Nope. It's one of the toys she got in her care package that I picked up at the post office box yesterday. Wednesday, did you bring me Morticia? That I still kind of thinks like she just burped again. Kind of looks like me if I had like sad eyes. Did you want me to throw this? Do you want to come up and get it? Would you like to come back up on the couch with me and co-host the rest of the show? Do you want to squeak your monkey? Or did you just come over here because you want me to play fetch with you? What do you want to do? You going to come back up? She's coming back up. So for anybody that this is your first Cocktails in the War Room, allow me to introduce my co-host, my trusted sidekick, my Vanna White. Hey, come here. My Ed McMahon. My Robin. This is Wednesday. Wednesday the Goth Pug. She celebrated her second birthday last month, and we had a birthday party for her here in the War Room. Right? You want to say hi to all of the new people that are joining us for the first time? No? Do you want me to rub your belly? Here. There you go. You can just sit there and I'll just rub your belly. Yeah. I just want some love from Mommy. I mean, really? I don't know what I would do without her. She has been my companion and... Right? Right? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you want to be the baby? Want to be the baby? Here, be the baby. Be the baby. Make me look like a crazy person on the internet. Okay. You can just sit. Do you want to just sit? What do you want to do? No? Go bite Morticia's face. And she licks teeth, says Dawn. Yeah, last night, in case you missed it, I was snuggling with Wednesday and I opened my mouth and she took her giant pug tongue and licked my teeth. There goes the pillow off the couch again. Yeah, Elsa says, Wednesday, don't lick your mom's teeth. Eric says, I like belly rubs. I'm sure you do, Eric, but we're social distancing, so I'm rubbing Wednesday's belly. Jay says, pugs are funky. Yes, pug people are weird. That's why I have pugs, because Monica says, oh, you're not crazy. I need one of those or two or three. Well, as we've spoken about, a group of pugs is called a grumble. So if you want to have a grumble of pugs, I fully support that adult decision. There goes the pillows. Pillows will die. I know. What? Now she's eating the spider. Are you eating the spider? Is that what you're eating? They got to make murder hornet pug toys. Wednesday would eat the shit out of a murder hornet. The other day, I forgot to tell you this. The other day, like this weird little moth. Am I the only person that... They're not flying ants. They're little brown moths. And like, they think they've come in with like my firewood. Like those cold nights, I've been bringing firewood in to put in the wood stove. And Wednesday followed this little moth around. She's eating its ass and growling at it. And she ate the moth. Like hunted it and ate it. What do you got? Ah, it's like Alien. Ah. So she's now the great moth hunter. Madeline says, my son wants a pug so bad he loves them. I will tell you that the Pug Rescue of New England, they do amazing work. And you can adopt a pug from them. Sometimes they're a little bit older, but they're also a little bit more mellow, especially if you're older and you don't want to deal with all of the puppy stuff. But I rescued a pug from them, and they're really fantastic people. Are you telling me that that moth was a termite? Seriously? Don't tell me that. Patty says, my pup loves chasing ants. That's great. They were in my house last summer, says Lou. Awesome. Moth breath. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. My dog eats bees, murder bees. That's what you're supposed to do when you eat ass. You're supposed to grunt, says David. And there goes the show, right down into the gutter. She needs a face hugger pug toy. Wednesday thinks you're the one that's nuts talking to the television, says Rodney. Rodney, you're probably not wrong. Let's just be real about it. Protein, they're good for pugs. My pit eats ladybugs, says Annette. The moths were in the potting soil. Ugh, gross. Wednesday, are you eating Morticia? Or are you eating the, which one are you eating? There's a shark. There's a spider. There's freaking toys everywhere. There's a monkey in the prone position over there on the floor. There's a Tyrannosaurus Rex over here with no face. Right? That's what she wants. She wants to play tug of war. Off the rails. Yep. Termites can't fly. Thank you, Marcy. I appreciate that. Little brown moths are usually pantry moths. Pretty common, says Brianna. Okay, well, I don't need a pantry moth. Flies, flying raisins, bees, flying jalapeno raisins. They're tree moths, says Debbie. Great. Baby shark, doot, 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 doot. Can I just tell you, can we have a moment of silence for all of the parents that have been stuck in the house quarantined with their kids and the baby shark song? Like, I mean, it's bad enough that I got this one over here that wants to play tug of war all the time. I can't imagine trying to escape Frozen and the baby shark song during quarantine. Mixer hornets from space. Oh, there's one of those moths right now. Get it, Wednesday. It's like I had it queued up. Wednesday, go find that moth and eat it. Go get it, Hunter. Look at her face. She doesn't know which toy to grab first. Seriously. Danielle says, ready to rip my hair out. I can totally imagine. Like, between Baby Shark and Frozen, I can't even... Seriously, I'll take the crazy-ass dog all day long. I'll take all the squeaking toys. I'll take all of it. Knocking the pillows off the couch. We lucked out with Trolls World Tour. Ozzy is in it, too. Yeah. There's that one, and then what was the other one that the brother was like a heavy metal fan or something? There were a couple of them where rock and roll was like very well represented that have come out recently. What are you doing? Here. You're welcome. Okay. Cats will chase the moth, says Joe. I'm not getting a cat. Can you imagine Wednesday with a freaking cat? I think that the moth wants my light on my tripod. Ah! Just scared the shit out of the dog trying to get a moth. Wednesday, get the moth. Find it and get it. Eat it. That's your job. Protect the house from invaders. Right? Can you protect the house from invaders? Okay. Danielle says the homeschooling is crazy. I can't even imagine. Onward was the rock and roll brother. Thank you, guys. Yeah, exactly. I knew that there was another one. All the parents need to get their kids listening to the Muppets opening song better than Baby Shark. 100% agree. Right? Come here. Can't handle her. My cat loves to chase bugs. They'd be best friends, says Keith. My granddaughter's first grade, missing her BFF. She's having such a hard time and no desire to do her homeschool work. Any advice? So Betty's looking for some advice because she's having a hard time. Betty, I am in no position to give you any kind of parenting advice whatsoever, but I'm sure somebody in here in the war room can totally help you out. Much respect to all the parents out there, says Monica. Wednesday would like a cat. It would run some of the energy out of her, and it's about her size. Yeah, but cats scratch and claw things, and Wednesday, in case you guys haven't noticed, has giant bulbous eyes, as was made very apparent by the beautiful drawing that we got of Wednesday last night, or yesterday, that I took it out of the post office box. Look at the size of those eyes. What the hell's she looking at? You can't have a cat around those eyes. Now she's eating the Tyrannosaurus Rex face right down there. Muppets with Ozzy. Yeah, Muppets did Alice Cooper, and it just... Muppets are far superior to Frozen and Baby Shark, 100%. Homeschooling sucks right now. We weren't ready for remote learning, says Madeline. Nobody was. Betty, can she do a Zoom play date or FaceTime her friend? Ooh, that's a good idea, Carrie. Buy a motorcycle for the kid. What could go wrong? We FaceTime with my son's friends daily, and it makes him happy, and they play online games together while talking. That's a great idea, Danielle. Joe says there's also the Rubber Ducky song. Yes, there is. So you guys are coming up with great suggestions for sure. You know, there's got to be a way to connect these kids in ways that still make them feel social. Jay wants to know, how big is my P.O. box? Well, that's kind of a personal question, Jay. But if it doesn't fit in my box, they will hold it for me. So you can send whatever you want within reason. It's got to be legal and being legal to be sent through the post office. But you can send anything you want to Mistress Carrie, P.O. Box 1086, so 1086, Leominster, Mass. 01453. Do you have a sidecar and a helmet for Wednesday? Sandy wants to know. Absolutely not. Wednesday hates the motorcycle. She hates the noise of the motorcycle. She hates bikes riding by. She hates big trucks. The beeping noises of trucks, all of that freaks her out. So there's no way that she is going anywhere near my motorcycle, especially not on a sidecar, at least not while she's young and kind of freaked out about it. Betty says she does Zoom with her teacher, and that teacher is doing a great YouTube, but she doesn't want to watch. I can't read the rest of her comments, but I'm sure you guys can. So keep the parenting advice going. Sorry, I have an itch. Keep the parenting advice going, because anything we can do to kind of help somebody that's got a sad kid. I mean, that's one of the things that we've talked about a lot over and over again here in the War Room is the social isolation and the challenges of mental illness in these times. And of course, you know, when you're older and you understand why you're depressed, you understand financial pressures, you know, maybe you're going through a strained relationship, or you're separated by distance or whatever from the people that you love. But when you're a kid, you don't understand a lot of this, and we really don't know how this is going to affect kids long term. So anything that we can do to help these kids stay socially engaged and keep their minds working and their imaginations going, like the more we can do to help, the better. My bestie kid is not handling this well, says Monica. I'm sure the kids are just not having a hard time. And it's not just kids too. There's a lot of adults that are missing out on a lot of milestones. Can we all cheers my friend Chrissy? My friend Chrissy got her MBA today and graduated via Skype and took pictures in her cap and gown with her husband and her daughter. But it was not the big graduation ceremony that every graduate was hoping for, with all of the work that they put in to try and get there, and they don't get to walk across that stage and have their family all there cheering them on. So to my friend Chrissy and all of the other members of the class of 2020, I'm so sorry that you are being denied your moment to commemorate, you know, the end of an era of your life and to commemorate a huge milestone and accomplishment. And it's just really sad. But to all of the graduates, we know how hard you work to get there, and your accomplishment does not go unnoticed. We're all very proud of you. Jeff says everything is just so fucked for all of us in so many ways. That's why we meet up here in the war room, Jeff. That's why we're here, to talk it out, support each other, congratulate each other on achievements, give each other hugs. Jeff says, I miss hugging friends and family. 100%. It's really weird to have people come over and stand in the driveway 10 feet away and not be able to hug them. I've always been a hugger. And now it's like, I feel like, am I going to be allowed to hug anybody ever again? Walking across the stage when you graduate is almost a rite of passage. That's what I mean. It commemorates the end of an era. It's a final moment of a long stretch of hard work and sacrifice. And the class of 2020 is being denied that. And it's really sad. So the dumpster fire that is 2020 rages on. Brianna says, my friend's autistic son is doing horrible in this. He doesn't understand why he has to wear a mask. I've seen a lot of people that have been letting kids wear Halloween masks and Halloween costumes with their mask underneath, and it's at least getting the kids to want to go and do it. And like standing at Home Depot, I saw a kid dressed up as Darth Vader like a week or a week and a half ago, and he loved all of the attention, and people were like, look out, Lord Vader's coming, and like it totally gave him that trick-or-treating kind of attention, and he was eating it up, and he was so happy, and he was dancing around, and he was having a lightsaber fight. And so if there's a way that you can incorporate Halloween costumes or Halloween masks with a regular real mask underneath, that might help. I don't know if you've thought of that already, but the kids that I've seen that have been wearing fun Halloween costumey masks have been pretty cool. So Heather says, my 3-year-old has been a monster not being able to go to daycare. Yeah, the play date thing is, the best thing you can do is find somebody else that's quarantining and have the agreement that your kids are going to be quarantined in their own little social circle so that at least they can play together. If you can figure that out, like I know some of my friends, they're all quarantining their kids with their cousins so that, the cousins and the families all agreed, okay, none of us are going anywhere. And the cousins are doing sleepovers at like 3 houses, and it's all family, but it's giving the parents a break to get the kids out of the house one night while they have a slumber party at another cousin's house. And they're still being super careful, but it's a way to kind of break up the monotony with their kids. You just have to be super careful and, to kind of make those agreements with a very small social circle and say, all right, if we're going to kind of have everybody in this bubble, there can't be anybody coming from outside into the bubble for everybody's safety. So my daughter is afraid of having her face covered. Oh, I'm so sorry, Heather. I can't imagine how hard that is. It's just so hard to try and get kids to understand this stuff. There's a lot of adults that don't understand it. I'm homeschooling my friend's 7-year-old triplet sons. It's a struggle. Zoom meetings and worksheets. The rest of your message is cut off. Absolutely, play dates work. Be sure the other family is as safe as you are. My daughter does that with one of her friends, says Lisa. If you can make those arrangements with another family and be super careful, it might help if you've got kids that are just suffering. ML says the New England Aquarium has a live cam of the Great Fish Tank. How cool is that? I went to the aquarium for the first time in years over the Christmas break and took some kids that were visiting from out of state, some family, and I forgot how fun the aquarium was. I hadn't been there in years, and it was so cool to take kids and to go around that big tank. And So that's really cool. I didn't know that they were doing that. So there you go. There's something else you can get the kids to watch, and that can also be homeschool science homework as well. Jeff says, 30 years of only meeting you a few times, and now I get to see you nightly. Soak it up while you can, dude, because once the world goes back to normal, it's going to be a hell of a lot harder to keep me in one place every night at the same time. But I promise you that Cocktails in the War Room won't go away permanently either. We'll just have to find a new normal for Cocktails in the War Room. All right, so if you are new to Cocktails in the War Room, we do a few things every night. One, I usually have some kind of a concert shirt, especially if it's an old retro concert shirt. The second thing that we do is I show you an artifact from my actual war room, which is the room that I collect all of my family's military memorabilia, all of the things that I've brought back from my embedded reporter trips overseas, and also things that I have been gifted by the military and my veteran friends. And this was one of my grandfather's books. And it's really old. I don't know when it was published, but the pages are all yellowed and some of them are torn. Let me see if I can find copyright 1943. So there you go. It's a little book. It's called Guadalcanal Diary by Richard Tregaskis. And it is published through Penguin Books, but I'm just looking at when it was published, and it says, permission to reproduce the United States Marine Corps emblem has been granted by the United States Marine Corps. Copyright 1943 by Random House. All rights reserved. And it's this little book. That's the front. On the back, you can see that the book cost 25 cents. And it says, written by an ace newspaper correspondent who landed with the first detachment of Marines, Guadalcanal Diary is an account of a great battle fought by boys from Keokuk and Kansas City, from New York and New Orleans. Read it today and find out why hundreds of thousands of copies have been sold and why the critics hail it as the greatest book about the war. And it was my grandfather's book for years and years and years. And then I got it. And one of the reasons why I love it so much, not only because it was my grandfather's book, but also because it was written by an embedded reporter. And all those years later, for that book by an embedded reporter to end up in my hands, who was an embedded reporter twice, I just love it. I'll read you the first thing that says about this book. Guadalcanal Diary is the exciting eyewitness story of the American invasion of Guadalcanal Island. The narrative begins at sea several days before the Leatherneck stormed the important Jap base in the campaign that finally led to our great victory of this war. Published originally by Random House and selected by the Book of the Month Club, the book had a sale of 500,000 before its appearance in the present edition. It has been used by 20th Century Fox as the basis for the memorable film starring Preston Foster, William Bendix, Lloyd Nolan, and Anthony Quinn. Louis Seiler and Brian Foy are the director and producer, respectively. The photographs on the front and back covers of this book are from 20th Century Fox film. So this is the book that the film was based off of. And I apologize for calling it a Jap base. I was just reading what it said in the book. But it's one of the books that I keep. There's a bookshelf in the war room of basically like war books. Some of the newer books are people that I've actually met that wrote them. And then there's some older books that I got from my grandfather. So I thought you guys might want to look it up. And it's complete and unabridged, an hour-by-hour eyewitness account of the invasion of the Solomons by the U.S. Marines. Now, part of the reason that I believe my grandfather had this book is that he was in the South Pacific during this time, and his ship, the USS Biloxi, was providing cover for the Marines. And so he was a radio operator I've talked about him in the past. And so I believe that's one of the reasons why he had this book. So there you go. So there's our little war room artifact for the night. David says, no apologies. That's what they were called. I know, but history has kind of, taught us better. And so I just choose not to speak like that. But when I'm quoting a book, it's kind of hard not to. But your collection of war items is amazing. I am in awe, says Lisa. Thank you very much. It's been, I've had this room for 10 years. And before that, it was stuff that was in boxes and kind of scattered around. And then when I bought the house, and we kind of decided that we were going to call this room the war room. Once you name a room in your house the war room, you'd be amazed at like what ends up in there. And so once we called it the war room, and I started going through all of the stuff that I have and kind of going, okay, well, that belongs in the war room and that belongs in the war room. It just kind of took over. But Michelle says, you take after him. Thank you. I appreciate that. My grandfather, I can't talk about him without getting upset. My grandfather was a guy that they broke the mold. How he made it through 2 wars and years in the Navy at sea without a tattoo, I will never know. As far as I know, he didn't have one. And if he had one, he had it in a place we can't talk about. But I was assured he did not have a tattoo, which I just can't believe. So, so the other thing that we do every night in the war room is we go through a drink recipe, because I thought, wouldn't it be great if we all came out of this with a better cocktail vocabulary? So, hey Liz, hey Nikki. So every night I give you guys a different drink recipe. So tonight's drink recipe is called an aquamarine, and it is 1 ounce of vodka, 2/3 of an ounce of peach schnapps, 1/3 of an ounce of blue curacao, 1/3 of an ounce of Cointreau, and 3 ounces of apple juice. You don't get apple juice often in cocktails, but this one does. It says shake the ingredients and then strain into an ice-filled old-fashioned glass and serve, and that is called an aquamarine. Thank you guys for all the love for my papa. He comes up a lot because, he fought in World War II in Korea. His ship, the USS Biloxi, was deployed for 2 years. They called it the Busy Bee in the South Pacific. And he was pretty much everywhere. You can look up the USS Biloxi on Wikipedia and look at all of the different places that they went through the South Pacific. Basically, every island, the Biloxi was there. And he was the radio operator, and he didn't talk about it much. But in the research that I've done, the radio operator on that ship, there's no way, if they were providing cover for Marines, that they were not transcribing code and sending and receiving messages from the wind talkers, from the Navajo code talkers. So I'm very proud of my grandfather's service. He raised me to be very respectful and proud of service and selfless service. And I miss him a lot. Tom says my grandfather's one was a tyrant and one was a town drunk, from what I heard. I mean, everybody is different. Everybody's family. We were talking about, last night, the difference between relatives and family. And, I've got plenty of those in my family too. It's just, I had a really great papa. So, I love talking about him. It makes me feel like he's still here, So, cheers. Okay. So, I showed you the artifact from the war room. We celebrated everyone's birthdays. We went through our drink recipe for the night. We talked about my badass concert t-shirt. This is the point of the night where I remind you that unless something horrible happens between now and tomorrow night, I have a big announcement coming at 8:30 tomorrow night. It's something I'm very proud of. It's something I've been working very hard on for quite some time. And I am very excited not only to share it with you, but also invite you to be involved with it. So make sure that 23 hours from now, you are right back here in the war room with me at 8:30, because I'm super excited that I'm going to have a big announcement tomorrow, Scott. Yes, I have a big announcement. I will tell you so that it's not a big announcement about my career per se. But as we have said many times in the past here in the war room, any progress, any forward movement, any good news is welcome. And that's what this is. That's what this announcement is going to be. So I'm excited about it. I hope that you guys are excited about it. And I will be talking to you. Debbie says, dun, dun, dun. I will be talking to you guys about it tomorrow night, which will be number 63 of Cocktails in the War Room. So have a cocktail ready tomorrow night and meet me right back here at 8:30. And I'll see you then. So stay safe. Thank you to all of the healthcare workers. Thank you to all of the essential workers, to all of our first responders and our National Guard troops that have been activated, and all the truck drivers and everybody that's keeping the shelves stocked. And I remind you every night, don't lick anything weird. And wash your damn hands. All right, I'm going to go find out where my dog is. I'll see you guys tomorrow.